There are terrible movies and there are loathsome movies. And then there's that rare breed so idiotic, exploitative, and sickening one wishes they could be scrubbed from memory. Right? Like Alvin and the Chipmunks was terrible. Alvin and the Chipmunks the Squeakquel was loathsome. Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked was obviously exploitative and sickening, and I wish I could scrub it from my memory. But Road Chip was awesome, full of gore, torture, and sexual humiliation, and contains not an iota of wit or intelligence to justify any of it. You were looking for wit in Human Centipede? The latest comedy from Judd Apatow explores a relationship between two nubile American girls and an Asian man when they are all sewn together. There's the foreign one, the quiet one, and the one that always goes, It all adds up to what, on the surface, appears to be a straight-up parody of a big-budget spectacle. But no, this is meant to be taken dead seriously. What would Passengers be parodying? Space Jam. He was playing basketball in space. It's a parody of Space Jam. Figured it out. And yet we're still supposed to root for him. Yeah, normal guy. Wakes up, lives a year by himself, everyone else is in cryogenic sleep. Yeah, rooting for him. Almost no matter what he does. Only reason he stayed sane was because there was a robot bartender and basketball. Space Jam. And emotionally, it's a complete flatline, with even a laxative commercial offering more opportunities for laughter, tears, and whatnot. Trust me, if you haven't shit in 5 days and you finally do, there is laughter, there is tears, there is certainly whatnot. Aguilar is a member of the Assassins, which means he must fight the members of the Templars. Is this a movie or a contentious lodge meeting? We established that it was one thing. It's a movie. Also, just a quick tip, I wouldn't suggest Googling lodge meeting unless you have safe search on. This paves the way for boring action scenes, boring characterizations, and boring exchanges that make even the notes from an HOA meeting sound riveting. You have a thing about meetings. Maybe you should go to a I'm running out of metaphors meeting. Overrated sentimental dribble. The characters are all supremely unlikable. Simba is an entitled f***wit with no regard for anyone but himself. Timon and Pumbaa are supposed to be good guys, yet their whole deal, their mantra behind the film's most successful song is basically f*** it. F*** responsibility. Hakuna ma f*** it.
Thinly veiled Jesus propaganda. Anumina Patre Spiritu Santi Mufasa. Otherwise, just another banal Disney animated musical. I'm so thankful that Pixar and DreamWorks came along so that adults have an edgy alternative to this trite, formulaic Disney drivel. Edgy alternative? Yeah, that's the first thing I think of when I think of DreamWorks and Pixar.
Don't Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart have better things to do with their time than lend their gravitas to an enterprise as silly as this? I mean, really. Don't two actors have better things to do with their time than act? Look, you know, sometimes Shakespeare doesn't pay the bills because he's dead. And Ian McKellen as Magneto has to be one of the most ridiculous credit lines in Hollywood history. There are people who are literally named Man Number 3, Girl Screaming from Back, Dead Cop, Guy Eating Hot Dog at Ball Game, Prostitute Number 2, and you pick Magneto as the most ridiculous one. All right. A kind of touchy-feely horror movie wants to do it all. That was kind of hot. It wants us to believe that an 8-year-old boy in Philadelphia has an unsettling power to see and communicate with the dead. Oh good, you said Philadelphia, I thought the kid had AIDS. He may also have employed one too many Bruce Willises. Yeah, we're gonna need a bunch of Bruce Willises on this project. I'm gonna need, let's see, I'm gonna need the 80s sitcom Bruce Willis. We're gonna also need the smart-ass Die Hard Bruce Willis, if you can grab him. The bald, get me the fuck out of here, Pulp Fiction Bruce Willis. If we could grab the harmonica playing, blues singing Bruce Willis, as well as the still married to Demi Moore Bruce Willis. We don't want the divorced one. We'll just grab, let's just grab Ashton Kutcher.
An overrated bum fluff with CGI more suited for, say, Die Another Day. Overrated bum fluff. I love it. Where do I buy this fluff you speak of?
Why is the answer to everything in this movie because you're the one? What is he, Jesus or something? Yes, Keanu Reeves is Jesus. And Jesus said, whoa.
Pretentious movie is pretentious. Bullshit comment is bullshit.
These movies have become so generic that someone should be suing, like how the Kimberly Clark people get upset when you refer to facial tissues as lowercase k Kleenex. Or when you refer to tissues as facial tissues, because no one frickin' says that. No one says facial tissues. And if you do, you're talking about dirty stuff. She's dressed for most of the movie in the least practical outfit for kicking ass I've ever seen. A camisole and tap pants, and I love this, a cape. How are you an authority on what you wear while you're kicking ass? Later, she wears nothing but a paper dinner napkin, and if that turns you on, then this is the movie for you. Actually, she was wearing a facial tissue. If you'd rather X than sex or X than cash checks, then X2 X-Men United is for you. What if I'm having sex with my ex while on X while listening to Static X? Can I still see the movie? The moody Wolverine, Jackman, a little old for this kind of silliness, can flash blades out of his wrists. Okay, but really, how useful is that? You ever need to cut a rope? You ever need to slice some bread? You ever not have a can opener? You ever need to cut a bitch? Mr. Shyamalan is a world-class close-up abuser.
Yeah! That guy!
The targets of this menace are 3 nubile high school girls in short skirts. Why do you have to point out they're in short skirts? Like if it was 3 high school guys in short skirts, then there would be a point in saying short skirts, because that would be weird. But it wasn't. It was 3 girls. And don't say nubile, you just sound creepy. This new role is far more constricting. Everything about Split is constricting. It's almost like being held captive in a single room. I don't like this movie since it is too dark for me. I still don't understand why you people are going to these movies. It's obviously dark. The fucking poster's dark.
Not as good as everyone kept telling me. After seeing them live, I kind of feel the same way about Chainsmokers.
My brother Jesse Krajci went to see one of Ridley Scott's films, Prometheus, with his friends in IMAX 3D. What an excellent review. I feel like I just watched Alien.
The lights at the end felt like they gave me a seizure. They felt like you would know if you had a seizure. And according to your English, you didn't. Problem solved.
Sometimes dallying in Rat Pack territory and elsewhere nodding towards James Bond, Kevin Bacon's villain operates from a funky submarine. Funky submarine. It's like when you got drunk and forgot that you bought a sub at Subway and you have to smell it to make sure it's still good, but it's, you know, it's Subway. Even if you smell it, you can't tell. Why is this turkey made out of pork? Why is there 18 ingredients in white bread? Why are there 2 ingredients in tomato? Still, the melange of slim suits, cigaretting villains, and Cold War paranoia is amusingly maintained throughout First Class's diverting opening act. What is, how do you make cigarette a verb? Cigaretting? What are you doing tonight? I was thinking about going out and doing some alcoholing. Might do a little cigaretting. And maybe once I've had a couple drinks, you know, fooding and homing and bedding. Aloning. I've just finished making my first videotape, and it's very special. Anyone who watches it will be forced to do my bidding for 7 days. On the final day, they must participate in a protest against incomprehensible movies like The Ring. You literally sound like a 5-year-old kid telling an imaginary story to your parents. And I will tell the imaginary story. So, I'm gonna make a video, and it's gonna be very, very special. It's gonna be the most special video you've ever seen. Anyone who watches it has to do whatever I say for 7 days. And then you have to protest The Ring. Where can you find my tape, you ask? No, we didn't ask about your stupid tape that doesn't exist. Don't even try. I won't, and no one else will. Because it's not real, and it's a stupid, ridiculous thing that you're just using to try and make your review interesting. It will find you. Great. And what it does, I will be blown the hell away that it's actually real. Does the film take a bit too much glee in beating the hell out of women throughout? Whee! Just like happily beating women. That's what you get out of this. It's like NFL speed dating. But the final chapter has no finesse, because that's what we're looking for in a Resident Evil movie. Finesse. There's no humor in it. What did you go see? To say nothing of romance or genuine rooting human interest. What are you expecting from this movie? It's like slicing up a calzone and being disappointed that it's not filled with diamonds.